Awesome, thank you. Good morning and thank you. I am an emergency room nurse from the state of Maine. And I'm here today to share with you some of my experiences from the emergency room and also to talk about the dangers of drinking and driving, underage drinking, and alcohol poisoning. Now, before I begin, I need to tell you that a couple of weeks ago, I was presenting in Long Beach, the Long Beach School District, not too far from here, and I did my whole assembly. I finished my assembly, and a student came up afterwards. He tapped me on the shoulder. He wanted to ask a question, and he said, "Now, did you say that you were from Main Street?" And I looked at him and I said, "No, I'm not from Main Street. I'm from the state of Maine." And I asked him, I said, "Do you know where Maine is?" And he said, "Well, not totally." So I thought that was interesting to not totally know where a state is. Well, the state of Maine, in case you're not very good with geography, the state of Maine, it's not only all the way in the East Coast. The state of Maine is as far northeast as you can go by the Atlantic Ocean, the country of Canada. So I get on this airplane and I flew 5.5 hours to come to your school to share with you some of my experiences. Now, the reason I'm telling you this, the reason I'm taking a minute to tell you that I came so far is because you have to realize that I'm not here today to lecture. I am not here today to tell you what to do. I would not fly all the way across the country to come into your school to lecture or tell you what to do. Today I'm going to share some personal stories. I'm going to share some very interesting information about alcohol. I'm going to talk about the importance of always getting help for your friends, no matter what. And then I have to be honest, I am going to show you in detail what happens to your body if you should end up in the emergency room. Now, on the topic of alcohol, I could tell you all kinds of stories. I could tell you drinking and driving stories, alcohol poisoning stories. I'd like to share the story of a teenager, 17-year-old by the name of Bob. Pretty common name, Bob. Well, this was interesting. Bob was a baseball player, good student, good kid. He was a little bit socially shy. He had a girlfriend, but a little bit socially shy. He was not the greatest athlete, wasn't the greatest baseball player, but he enjoyed playing ball. Well, one day he was at his locker at school, and the captain of the baseball team came up to him and said, "Hey, Bob, after practice, I'm having a bunch of friends over. We're going to have a barbecue." He said, "Why don't you and your girlfriend come over?" Well, Bob looked at him and he said, "Geez, thanks." Well, this kid left. Bob swung his locker shut. He headed home and he was psyched. He was psyched because this other kid, the captain of the team, he usually did not even talk to him. Well, after practice, he picked up his girlfriend, went over to this kid's house, and when he walked in the door, this kid stuck a shot of whiskey into his hand. Well, he turned to him and he said, "Geez, thanks for inviting me, but we didn't plan on drinking, but thanks for having us over." He said, I certainly didn't plan on getting kicked off the team. I don't want to drink." Well, this kid